Hey everyone, I'm so excited to have you join us today. If you enjoy, you're in the right place. Before we dive into today's video, if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our future content. We're building an awesome community here, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. The 1049th Nato. We shall begin, and drawing today's lots. One was looking at his cell phone wired, biting his nails out of stress, and saying, "We're so screwed, we just wasted 100,000 won. We should have just bought better food with that much money instead." Rio said to his brother, "One, don't bite your nails. The lottery has begun. Now today's first lucky number is 3. The second lucky number is 18. That's their lucky number is 9. The fourth lucky number is 38. We will be announcing the numbers for the 1049th Lotto once again. 3, 18, 9, 38, 21, 1. The bonus is numbers 5. One was so happy that he didn't know what to do. It seemed like he was very worried about losing his money. And he said, "We got first place. The live has ended." However, One, he didn't believe that. He thought he was dreaming and said, "Young, could you pinch my cheeks? This is a dream, right? Would you prefer it be dream?" One shook his head and said, "No, never. Don't worry, it's not a dream. This really isn't a dream, right?" Rio said again, "I'm telling you, it's not." One was so excited that he ran around the small house. Rio said, "Keep your voice down. Our neighbors could hear. Do you really like it that much?" "Of course, aren't you happy too?" Rio replied, "Of course." Then Rio said silently, "Well, I was also like that the first time. I even screwed after all. But after repeating this process dozens of times, it's practically become an annual event I'm obliged to do. I have to quickly gather wealth after each regression because there are 900 million dead. The economy became shaky. And the item trade between players, which will become much more active in the future, is done through cash." One looked at the lottery winning sheets as if he still couldn't believe it and said, "I can't believe all 100 of these are first place. How much will they give us then?" Rio and silently says, "It's probably a jackpot big enough to shake the world." Rio arrived in front of the non-Hyop bank. Rio entered the bank quietly and said, "Since I've collected the first place prize dozens of times, I'm unable to get nervous at all." Rio approached the staff at the lobby desk of the building and said, "I come here to collect the Nato first place prize." "Ah, is that so? Congratulations, sir." The bank employee wasn't really supposed, because it was a common thing that happened every week. However, the employee looked at Rio and said silently, "He got the first place prize." He still looks like a student though, although some of the winners were in their 20s. Rio in front of him was so young that he looked like a high school student. It could be a lie or an illusion, so the employee had to check and asked him, "Could you please tell me where you purchased your ticket?" "QS 24, Yonhui branch." The employee made a noise without realizing it. This is because it reminded him of a conversation he had with the manager, who said, "Did you hear? Apparently, there's 115 tickets that's won this time. It's crazy, right? But the crazier thing is that 100 of those came from one place. Don't tell me one person bought all of those tickets. Regardless, if anyone tells you they bought their tickets from the Yonhui branch, call the resident of the bank immediately. They'd be a VVIP guest." The employee remembered his boss's words and came to his senses and said, "I apologize, but could you please wait here for a moment?" "Sure." A few moments later, the bank president appeared. "Thank you for waiting. My name is Guan Junin, president of Non-Hyop Bank. Hey, my name's Rio." Rio held the bank president's hand lightly with a calm expression. "So you're the one who won the Nato first place prize. I sincerely congratulate you, sir. Why don't we go somewhere quieter? Please, follow me." The bank president directed Rio to the lottery task force. The clerk leaned over and looked at Rio out of the corner of his eye. She said, "Who's the person next to the president? Is it the president's son?" Wish when she was curious. The bank president introduced it first. "He is a VVIP who come to collect his prize. Please make sure that he's comfortable." She said, "VIP." Only then did the employee know who the bank manager had brought. The winner of GS 24 Yonhui Branch 100 game. While she was surprised, the bank president exchanged greetings with Rio. As the bank president away with a friendly smile, that employee stopped forward and she said, "Welcome, sir. Please take a seat here." Rio, sit on the soft sofa. Then the employee asked him, "Would you like anything to drink?" "We have coffee, juice, green tea." Rio said, "I'm fine. More importantly, I'd like to receive my reward right away." She said, "Ah, is that so? Then first, would it be all right if I confirmed the Lotto tickets right, sir?" Rio took out 20 lottery tickets from his pocket. The employee couldn't hear his surprised expression. Ash checked his tickets the lottery. She says silently, "I can't believe he bought them all with the same numbers. Can he see the future? Or what?" With a smile, trying to hide her envy. She said, "I have finished confirming them. All 100 are confirmed to be the first place prize." Rio said, "And how much would I receive?" She replied, "Sir, your reward are roughly 22.5 billion won." Rio said, "After taxes, I'd have roughly 15 billion won." Everything happened quickly after I collected my reward. First, I looked for a place to move into. And in the evening, I opened a stock account. Bitcoin was expected to go up by 1,500% in the next month, so I planned on investing in stocks after increasing my money with Bitcoin. Rio arrived home. 1. Do you think of our new house? Do you like it? Of course it's super nice. I've never seen a house this big and expensive. Well, I have seen photos of them, I guess. Rio said, "That was the best among the place we could move into immediately." His brother replied, "But why did you choose to pay rent instead? We have so much money we should have just bought it." Rio said, "I don't have any money though. Older than 1 billion when I put the rest into Bitcoin." His brother was shocked to hear that and said, "What?" Then Rio said, "I know what you're about to say, but I didn't do this without thinking about it, all right? I can always earn more money with Lotto, always. After all, I saw 4 sets of numbers in my dreams." One said silently, "Oh my God, I've only heard about people dreaming about Lotto numbers." One started shaking his brother violently and said, "Ah, you remember all of the numbers, right? Don't forget them no matter what, all right? There's no way I'd forget them when I've done this countless times. Regardless, let's eat out for lunch and get ready to leave." "Ready to leave? Where to?" Rio smiled and said, "I didn't tell you, did I? We're moving today. Somewhere Ryumin was punishing the walls of the alley. With arrogant look on his face, he said, "I knew it was a good idea to put all of my stats into strength. He keep pushing the wall. I even got the strength tune, which doubles my strength. I got really lucky with my random rune. I bet even Tyson would be jealous after seeing a punch this strong. This is probably enough for a test." Ryumin was happy, flexed his fist, and then said, "Why don't I try it out in an actual fight now?" Ryumin headed to Rio's dilapidated house. He started knocking on the door. The said, "I don't think this bastard is dead or anything, but he's not even answering his calls?" It's only been a few days, but the taunts and looks that Rio showed to him were fresh before his eyes. Ryumin said, "Arrogant bastard! Did you think I'd let you go after you glared me like that? I'm going to kill you." No matter how many times he knocked on the door, there was no answer. Even if we're both players, a loser is still a loser. I need to teach you a lesson. It's obvious disaster is hiding in his house. Why isn't he coming out? He put his ears to the door and said, "Ah, I got this bitch isn't home. I can't be helped, I'll go for now." He deliberately pretended to leave and put his ears near the door again, trying to listen to anything, and said, "I dare you to make even a breathing sound. I'll just destroy this door." It was then, "Hey student, what are you doing in front of someone's door?" Ryumin turned his head when he heard a voice behind him. An old man was coming from this direction. "Why do you care? Are you the landlord or something?" He replied, "I am the landlord." Then he asked him, "And why are you doing? Are you here to meet a friend?" Ryumin replied, "Friend? Ah, that's right, a friend. Could you open the door for me? I suddenly lost contact with my friend. If you could open it." The old man said, "Godness. Since you got left behind by your friend, that's an empty room now. The student that used to live there moved somewhere else." Ryumin was surprised. "When was it? Where did he go?" He moved today, though I don't know where to. Ryumin became angry and said, "This bastard!" He ran without saying anything. In front of the building, one expressed his admiration for the luxury commercial residential building. Ryo left behind his younger brother, who couldn't keep his mouth shut, and told the security guard that he was moving in. They reached floor 43, and they entered the house. One said, "How big is this place?" "About 330 square meters. 330. One couldn't keep his mouth shut the entire time he entered the house. "Isn't it? It's too big for just the two of us. We have a lot of money. It should be at least this big." "How much was the contract?" 500 million won in deposits and 22 million won per month. At that moment, won't become dizzy. And he said, "Bro, I think this place is too expensive. Wouldn't it be better to get a cheaper house?" "No, we need to spend at least this much. The more expensive it is, the better the security. On the 1st of every month, all players fall under narcolepsy, and this period of time is the most vulnerable for all players, vulnerable to this disaster like fire and earthquakes, and assassin hired by other players. And so, when the time comes, the players need to prepare to go over to the other world in as safe of a place as possible. No matter how extraordinary you are in the other world, everything will end if you die in real. This was the reason why Ryo moved to an expensive apartment. Of course, since they go to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time, players cannot target each other directly. But it is possible for an ordinary person to be asked to commit murder. The player hires an assassin to eliminate a rival. That's why he has to hide his nickname, no matter what. Ryo asked his brother, "1. Do you like this house?" "It's great. What is that even a question?" "Yeah, it's good that you like it." 1. Who was happy, wiped the smile off his face and said, "I'm sorry, bro. You'll get dragged into the other world to fight when next month comes as well. But I'm just enjoying it everything, like it's no problem. I was too short-sighted, I'm sorry." When one looked so depressed, Ryo tapped him on the back. "Why do you look so down? Do you think I won't return from the next round? Stop thinking about that and let's go eat some food. I heard that Korean place on the 2nd floor is pretty good." Meanwhile, a call come from Ryu Min. Ryo said, "Is noticed that I've moved. I just ignore him. It's not like I met him in real life ever again, but maybe in the other world." Ryo smiled and put his cell phone in his pocket. The day after moving in, Ryo looked at his brother, who wake up early in the morning and looked confused, because he was Warren Street clothes, and said, "1, are you doing somewhere?" "Yeah, I ordered some rice cakes, so I'm gonna grab 'em." Ryo frowned and said, "Rice cakes? Why did you buy them? I'll need to hand them out to the neighbors since we moved in. Isn't that good manners?" Ryo replied, "Well, it's not a bad idea to be a good neighbor." Then one said, "I'll go and hand them out so you can rest here." "No, we should go and get them together. I'll go change. Wait for me." When they rang the doorbell, they heard a voice from the intercom. "Who is it?" "Hello, we just moved in next door. We're here to say hello." After a while, the door opened and a woman in her 50s, wearing beautiful clothes, appeared. One bowed his head politely. One quickly spread the steamed rice cake into the plate. "We brought some rice cakes for you. They taste best when they're still warm." Then they went to the houses next door, and all the neighbors were grateful. The brothers headed upstairs for the last time. While he was in the corridor, Ryo said, "1. Did you know this floor is the penthouse? They use both floors 44 and 45. Does that mean they're mega rich? I don't know the details, but wouldn't it be someone from a rich family or a celebrity?" One rang the doorbell while you listening to his brother. However, there was no response and it seemed like an empty house. One pressed the button again, but there was still silence. One said, "Looks like they're not here. Let's just go, bro." Just one was about to give up and walk away. He turned around and one couldn't help but be surprised and said, "That's actress CO Aaron?" お前はもう死んでいる。